Hello, my name is Brian Mesmer, and I'm an assistant professor at the University of Alabama in Huntsville, in the Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering and Engineering Management. Today, I want to talk to you about how we can reimagine engineering design and systems engineering. Let's start with some rough facts. EDSE faces many challenges simply due to the complex things that we work on. As we build bigger and more complex things, our jobs get more difficult and more uncertainty is introduced. This has major impacts on high-level performance metrics such as cost and time. Paul Aromenko's famous chart shows the dire trajectory the aerospace industry is currently on. As complexity increases, so does design time and costs. Eventually, this will lead to the U.S. military designing and building one airplane that will be shared by all 5 branches of the military. From an economical perspective, improvement in EDSE is needed as we are losing $200 million per day due to cost overruns, time overruns, and project cancellations. Industry is waving the white flag, but we have not yet given them a solution. We have our own issues on the academic side. In systems engineering in particular, we have a tendency to form approaches that, at the end of the day, have very little backing to them. We then publish and wonder why no one adopts our methods. We don't offer industry results from large experiments and real systems to show how one approach is better than another. On the other hand, what are we to do? We do our best with agent-based simulations, logic, incorporation of proven theories, and human studies primarily with students. This is what is available to us. Experiments on systems that take 20 years to run is simply not feasible. We have issues in industry with growing complexity, and we have issues in academia on how to test approaches. We need both new or improved EDSE approaches for industry and new or improved methods to evaluate EDSE approaches for academia. This is why I am proposing a reimagining of EDSE. We need to break out of the confines we currently find ourselves in. We need to enter interdisciplinary relationships that branch out of the engineering disciplines. Those other disciplines need to deal with complex systems or activities that mimic our own. I believe that art disciplines hold knowledge for us to use. I believe we can improve engineering design and systems engineering by identifying approaches from the arts that aid in understanding and performing EDSE, and infuse those approaches into EDSE. The question we should all be asking is, why art? I believe there is knowledge from the arts that can be tapped to improve our methodology or to generate new approaches. Let's look at a few examples. A major challenge we have in systems engineering is the storage of knowledge. This challenge is due to systems that have a long design life cycle, where repetition does not keep the knowledge fresh in people's minds. How do we keep this knowledge from losing context, or from simply dying off with people? Does art offer any help in this area? I would say yes. Approaches are used in art conservation and preservation, as well as for museum archives to do just what we need: store and recover information or knowledge. We need to reimagine the storage of information, and art preservation may be that spark. Another challenge where art may help is in design framework efficiencies. Significant work has been performed on using standard component designs in multiple systems. Is there knowledge that we can gain from working with fashion designers who use templates in their work to aid them in reducing time and errors? We need to reimagine design approaches of complex systems, and fashion design may be that spark. A challenge that is hitting the model-based systems engineering community is how to use the different diagrams and views in MBSE software to most effectively aid in the decision-making process. How can we convince people that the information we are passing along is meaningful and useful? Is there knowledge that we can gain from filmmakers and documentarians on how to best frame a topic, or how best to make someone believe? we need to reimagine how to best present information in MBSE tools, and film may be that spark. Some preliminary work that my lab, together with Communication Arts, has been exploring is if theater productions can act as a surrogate for complex design organizations. Why would this be important? Well, right now we are limited in evaluating new systems engineering approaches due to the inability to perform a comparative experiment on design organizations that have low availability with cycles that are expensive and long. What if we could find a surrogate that has short cycles, cheap systems, and wide availability, while also having important complex systems engineering characteristics, such as having a final product, milestones, multiple disciplines, and some form of organizational hierarchy? Theater productions may just be that surrogate. Theater has wide availability to enable easy study, costs in the thousands, and a final product delivered to customers. In preliminary work, we have showed relationships between systems engineering milestones and roles with that of theater productions milestones and roles. A link exists, but more research is needed. If a surrogate is found, though, this will enable us to experiment on new or improved approaches on an organization that mimics that of design organizations. We need to reimagine how to evaluate our EDSE approaches, and theater may be that spark. Other sparks from the arts may be in games to improve training of systems engineers, live television directors that adapt to changing environments while displaying the most important information, and the role of abstraction and elaboration in paintings. The art field is massive. Determining if and how art approaches can help us improve EDSE is not a one-person or even a one-university job. What I need is help from all the other art nerds out there. I need the musicians, the theater geeks, the art history majors. I need the board game geeks, the film nerds, and the foodies. I want to start a collaboration of engineers who want to reimagine EDSE, and I believe art may hold the spark for that reimagination.